It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, today we're going to jump on the gigantic, sharp, interactive board and go through OKI's first 9 months of FY24, which will end in March of 2025. On Monday, I shared my thoughts about OKI joining ETRIA. In that episode, I said, I think this is just step one, as OKI decides to exit print altogether. Step one was to join ETRIA, get rid of the manufacturing business they had around LED printers. They're doing that. That'll be done by October of this year. Step two, get out of it altogether. As I look at OKI Data's business segments, as I look at what they're doing in the world today, I really start thinking, they don't need print. And folks, these are tough things to think about. But I assure you, every single OEM you work with around print is thinking about these things. They're looking at their conglomerates and they're thinking to themselves, where should we put our money for the future? How can we change the world in the future? There are some OEMs out there that I believe could really change the game in print in such a disruptive way. They could capitalize on it a whole lot as they change the game in print through its decline. But when you think about print, you think about laser printing in businesses all over the world. You have to ask yourself a question. Shouldn't there be consolidation? The answer is hell yes. Aren't we an oversaturated market? The answer is hell yes. And I'll tell you all what Canon did, and I talked about it last week, is the alarm bell. Canon has the largest market share of small printers in the world. And their CEO is interviewed, and he's discussing the outsourcing of the manufacturing of a product that they own the market share. I mean, think about it. If Canon's willing to outsource their low-end printers, where they have the #1 market share, why would they make any kind of MFPs that are going into offices or homes? Why would they do any of it? I still believe, as I said on Monday, I think Canon might be next to join ETRIA. So let's jump on the gigantic, sharp, interactive board. I'll share my thoughts regarding OKI. Their top-line revenue for the 9 months is $2 billion. Had an operating profit of $49.9 million, or 2.5%. OKI, like everyone else, has these different business segments. I've translated all the yens to dollars, top-line revenues and profitability. But what I want to do is I want to share the top line of these different segments and the profitability of these segments. But first, I want to tell you what these segments are. Public Solutions is a segment of OKI's. It deals with roads, air traffic control, disaster prevention, firefighting, business systems for central government offices, government statistics systems, defense systems, aviation equipment, infrastructure, monitoring, carrier networks, video distribution, 5G and local 5G. Nowhere in Public Solutions does it say anything about printers. Public Solutions for OKI for 9 months, top line revenue is $461.5 million, represents 23% of their total revenue, had an operating profit of $17.7 million, or 3.8%. Let's look at their Enterprise Solutions. Within the Enterprise Solutions business segment, it's about ATMs, cash handling equipment, bank branch terminals, ticket reservation, issuing terminals, check-in terminals, ATM monitoring operation systems, bank branch systems, systems to centralize back office operation, railroad ticket issuance systems, airport check-in systems, manufacturing systems, ERP, IoT, and construction and maintenance systems. Nowhere in Enterprise Solutions does it say anything about print equipment. Enterprise Solutions for OKI for the 9 months, top line revenue was $934.8 million, representing 46.7% of OKI's total revenue. The operating profit, $77.5 million, or 8.3%. Now let's talk about the component products business segment. AI edge computer sensors, IoT networks, PBX business phones, contact centers, cloud services. Yes, my friends, that's where printers lives, LED printers. What is the percentage of printers in that revenue of component products? Because the total revenue for component products is $366.3 million, representing 18.3% of OKI's total revenue. Operating profit was $13.8 million, or 3.8%. ladies and gentlemen, I think they could get rid of LED printers. Don't you? Let's look at their EMS business segment. Consigned design and manufacturing services, printed circuit boards. Total revenue is $315.8 million, representing 15.8% of OKI's total, had an operating profit loss of $10.5 million. Folks, let's take this a little bit deeper. Here are the pictures. I took these different divisions. I'm showing you the pictures of kind of what they do. And in your mind, imagine with me, if you will, where would you put your money if you were OKI in your innovation? Would you be putting in industrial equipment, measurement devices, ICT devices, medical devices, aerospace, and onboard automotive electronics? That sounds exciting. That business unit called EMS lost $10.5 million in operating profit. But what if they could take the resources from their print business, go out and get some different human capital maybe, take all the costs associated with their print business and shift it over to the EMS business? Could they get that profitable? Could they cause innovation on products that are going to be relevant, not only for the near future, but for the long future? Lots to think about if you're an OEM. Let's look at their public solutions. Think about it, the road systems, aviation systems, firefighting and disaster prevention systems, cockpit displays for commercial aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look on the Sharp Interactive board and you look at what they're doing in the product solutions business segment, you think to yourself, man, we can put a whole lot of innovation in these products and services. Whole lots of innovation. These products and services are good for the short term and the long term. It's worth investing in innovation. Wouldn't you think that? Ladies and gentlemen, they're enterprise solutions. They're doing some really cool stuff here. And by the way, this is super profitable to them. 8.3% is the most profitable segment they have. $934.8 million total revenue, representing 46.7% of OKI's total revenue. If you're OKI and you're on the board of OKI and you're looking at this enterprise solutions business, are you thinking to yourself, whoo, we could innovate these products. We could create technologies and processes that could change the world and make it better. These products in our enterprise solutions group, well, they've got short-term and long-term futures. Wouldn't you be thinking that? I sure as hell think they are. They're component products. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen, those LED printers. You're on the board of OKI. You're looking at the other things you do in the component products business sector, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, you know, we got these LED printers. We could do some cool things with them. We could do some really cool label printing. But at the end of the day, what else could we do? How could we innovate print in such a way that would change the game forever? By the way, print for us is pretty small. Maybe we should just get out of it altogether. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think OKI's thinking of this, you're crazy. They are. All our OEM friends are thinking of these things. That's why it's going to take bold leaders with bold visions that are willing to do things that are so disruptive to status quo that it shakes the game up completely. That's why I keep screaming about moving inkjet technology into the office space, because whoever can do that and do it well will disrupt laser like nobody's business. They'll have massive growth of that sector. They'll make billions of dollars. And they can milk the cow till there's no more milk as they change the game for everyone. And all the profitability they make off the products, well, they could shift to some of their other categories of business or business segments. But let's be honest about OKI. They're small. Their print business is extremely small. They talked about we're going to sell off their manufacturing of print business, the company out of Thailand, right? You saw that in Monday's episode. I hope you all read through this. You know how it's all formulated as a corporation. It'll all take place by the October of 2025. And folks, in there they shared the numbers. The net sales of OKI Data Manufacturing. For FY, which ended March of 2024, the revenue was $222.6 million. So printing's not that big to them. Do you believe it's really important when you saw all those other things they do? I know it's tough to hear this, but I think the industry needs to talk more about it. I think the OEMs need to justify why they're going to be important for print for the near, short term, and mid-term. I don't think anybody's going to be important around print for the long term. And we all have to face that reality. But how do we as an organization change our own games and our own processes to get as much profit off print as we can as we start thinking about what are the things we're going to do? I was recently at the Sharp Road Show, and I know you all go to your OEM meetings and shows and go to any kind of industry event, and everybody's talking about diversification. It's all about diversification. And at the end of the day, the OEMs you do business with are also thinking about diversification, and they're also thinking about their print business. And their print business, for a lot of our friends, is a big part of their organization. That doesn't mean that they're not contemplating doing things with that print division that a lot of us don't want people to do or touch until maybe we retire. You know how I think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot changing in our industry. OKI joined the club over at ETRIA. I just shared with you an argument why OKI could get out of print tomorrow if they wanted to. I think it was a logical argument. And at the end of the day, everybody that watches me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all it'll be invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.